Howdy, Hacksters! I'm here today to talk about how to create touch-responsive robots. This is my new pal, Fenrir, and I've been writing up this tutorial on him with some new features. Let's actually get this screen up. Curious. Not working. There we go. All right, so Fenrir is my new Fennec Fox-based companion AI. His brain is a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus with an Intel Neural Compute Stick 2, which is where the AI part comes in. He's actually going to be running some models for me. The one I have working so far is for face detection, but that's mostly just to see how we can defeat facial recognition because I think that's the more interesting part. While I've been trying to get some other models up and running today, it's been a bit of a challenge. However, I have added a new feature, and that is touch response. So with a robot like this, I've programmed him with a Teensy microcontroller so that he can move around even when his Raspberry Pi brain isn't fired up. The trouble is that he's moving in a sort of random fashion, and it's possible he could start crowding me or start veering off too far to the left, or we'd get some kind of an exorcist situation going on. So to prevent that, I've integrated now some touch responsiveness with this conductive tape called Maker Tape. Now this is something from Brown Dog Gadgets that we've featured on the channel before. Let's take a look. Maker Tape. So this is a sort of, is it silk or nylon? It's a fabric-based conductive tape that is coated with an adhesive on the bottom that is also conductive. What that means is that it's not just X and Y conductive across the top part like copper tape. Most copper tape is conductive on the copper part, but underneath the adhesive is not conductive, so when you try to stick it down to something, it won't conduct whatever is touching that. And that makes it, for me, really obnoxious to work with. Not only that, but it folds and tears really easily. This stuff is sort of the opposite. It's really flexible, and it's Z-axis conductive as well, so that makes it really easy to connect stuff, as you see with these LEDs here. If you scroll down here, you'll find my directions on how to make the little touch sensors that I put on Fenrir. So you just wrap the tape around one end of a hookup wire, and then you stick the other end down to your robot. In this case, I've stuck it down to the legs and plugged the other end into this adapter board, which is what the Teensy motor controller. These orange and white wires that you see here coming from, let me see if I can point to this. No. Well, you see the orange and white wires in sort of the middle of the screen there that are going to those rails. Well, those are the two wires from these touch responsive pads, and they go straight to the Teensy's capacitive pins because the Teensy has native capacitive touch sensing on some of their pins, and it's super cool. So what I've done with that is I've made it so it's easy for me to adjust his head angle. So for right now, his head is leaning to the left. And if I want to move it to the right, I can just touch his leg, and he starts angling his head more to the right, more and more and more, and we're getting cozier and cozier. And then if I want to say get out of my face, then I can just touch the other leg, and he moves over to the left. Very convenient. So a little bit more about what's going on here. Here is the Fenrir tutorial showing this entire robot, including the Raspberry Pi stuff and the Neural Compute Stick on the inside. If you're interested in building your own AI robot, you might want to get hold of one of these Neural Compute Stick 2 units. And you can actually do that through a survey that we've released through July 5th. You could win one of 100 of these. It's at events.hackster.io/dlsuperheroes, or click the link in the description to this video or in the Fenrir tutorial. It's in all of those places. It's really easy to find. First link here, or the first link in the description of this video. You can also find our Maker Tape intro/review. A couple weeks ago, I did a guest appearance on Brown Dog Gadgets, the creators of Maker Tape, creating this little paper emotions bot. Because maybe you don't have the bandwidth or the materials to make an entire little tiny motorized robot, but you can still make a little robot friend to interact with that will show your emotions and register them on an RGB LED. So check that out as well. It's the paper emotions bot, and I actually hope to get AI voice interaction running on this one in the future as well. It's just not quite up to scratch yet with what we have. The Brown Dog Gadgets guys also have a bunch of other cool guests on, I believe weekly. The most recent one was our friend Kitty Young, who is a tech fashion designer extraordinaire, who has made dresses that respond to machine learning with the Intel Curie, I believe the BBC Microbit, and more. All kinds of cool technology. Now she's making this face mask that looks like it incorporates an Adafruit Circuit Playground Express, but I'm not sure what's inside of that little fabric enclosure there. But check that out. It's twitter.com/browndoggadgets, and I've labeled it in the description of this video as usual. Finally, I want to shout out Angela Sheehan, who created the Nova companion bot. She had touch responsiveness on her companion bot before I did, and she used this little sensor in the middle of Nova's forehead. Not only that, but Nova is adorable. Look at this little dragon/cat type companion bot. Look at her amazing expressive little eyes, and see how Angela can control it with that little touch on the forehead. I believe that's just a sort of little metal gem. Besides that, I'll add a link in the description to my friend Aj, who has created a distance sensor for his robot that leads it to do a high five. It's not exactly touch, but it's close, isn't it? But yeah, check out Nova for more touch responsiveness. And if you're curious about how it works on this one, you can easily find the tutorial in the description below. Make sure that you check out our survey. I'll link to that again once more. Oh, in fact, all these people, except for Kitty is about tech fashion mostly, but Angela and Jay and I were all on a panel together this most recent Maker Faire, which was a virtual Maker Faire, and we all talked about Nova and Dexter and Archimedes and Fenrir, our robots. Where's Angela? Here we go. Oh, well, here's Jay. Oh, Angela, yeah, and Jay. The whole crew. You can be part of this crew if you choose to build companion robots of your own. Any of us. We're all sharing tutorials, and there are all kinds of different robot friends to build. So jump on it. Check out the links in the description for more information and for the survey. And I hope to see what you're building soon. Hack on!